Hey pen pals, this is Tom with Gold Spot Pens.
And this is Kiran over at Gold Spot Pens.
So, I don't know about you, Kiran. I usually like writing with fountain pens.
You know what? I do agree with you. However, I have a feeling most of us use ballpoint pens every day.
Just here and there. Sometimes to sign some carbon copies and whatnot. I usually have one stashed away, but I know you usually prefer writing with one. And today's National Ballpoint Pen Day. Did you know that? You knew that?
It is, so that's why we're here talking about ballpoint pens.
In tradition of our top fives that we usually do per month, we're going to go over the top 5 ballpoint pens for people who like fountain pens. So you're going to have to win me over, Kiran, because I'm not sold.
Okay.
I mean, I have like 1 or 2 that I use on occasion, but like you're going to have to sell me on using any of these pens because it's going to take a lot for me to give up using my fountain pens.
It's okay to use another boat sometimes. Markers, ballpoint pens, fountain pens.
Well, we're an inclusive environment here at Gold Spot. Whatever floats your boat. So whatever you enjoy writing with.
Fountain pens, you could have a day of writing with felt tip markers, whatever suits your fancy.
So I have a Sailor fountain pen that I like to use. And I know that Sailor also makes ballpoint pens, as do...
They make a fantastic ballpoint.
Our friends at Sailor, at Itoya specifically, the North American distributor, they were so kind as to provide us a 1911 ballpoint pen to give away in honor of National Ballpoint Day. At the end of the video, stick around so that you could find out how to win one of these Sailor 1911 ballpoint pen beauties.
Okay guys, so we're here and we're going to talk about the top 5 ballpoint pens.
Top 5.
For 2019. Number 5, the Parker Jotter. Now this little beauty has been out since the 1950s. They have calculated a little over 750 million have been produced worldwide. They're currently being made in France, and they have their Parker style refill, which makes them so ever infamously famous. They write smooth. You'll never have any blotching. You can write over shiny papers like a magazine, and you hear that? It's an addicting click action that you just won't want to stop. You have a multitude of jotter colors, and they continue to make new colors, discontinue old colors. Some of these jotters are worth in the hundreds. So if you have one of the old jotters from, say, 1980, hold on to it, because probably they don't make that color and it's worth a lot of bucks, guys. It's
like an older type of pen. It's probably like one of the first ballpoint pens that came out on the market, and you know, it's got a rather classy design with the arrow clip, and you know, it's got a colorful array of different barrels that's available in. But like, why would I put this in my pocket versus, like, you know, let's say my regular everyday fountain pen?
Well, I gotta tell you, Tom, have you ever tried flying with the fountain pen?
I have, actually. I was a little nervous because going through TSA, you know, you have like little essentially little canisters of ink in your bag that could look like test tubes of destruction. Also, the pressure changes, like you were saying, like it could, you know, expel the ink out at high altitudes, but thankfully it didn't, and I was happy to kind of, you know, report that. But at the same time, maybe just traveling with, like, let's say some of my more expensive pens might not be, you know, something that I would want to do. I'd want to bring something a little bit inexpensive, like the Parker Jotter.
That is true.
And for the price, it's really, you know, something that kind of carries an air of distinguished elegance, but yet it doesn't cost a ton of money to get. So you can get a whole bunch of colors, whatever suits your personality.
So that being said, I know Jotter has always made a 5-inch pen, and recently they upgraded and they started making what they call the Jotter XL, which is, they said, 7% bigger, takes the same exact famous Parker refill that will not explode, glides on paper, and has that awesome click action.
But it just is a little bit larger for your,
just a little bit larger. They make 4 awesome colors. These are also made in France. So we got number 4, and that's the Fischer 400 Space Pen. Now this pen,
that is a cool looking pen.
It is, and crazy amount of colors, guys. I mean, I'm just showing some of these colors. They are fun colors. Now, this pen was made It was made in 1966 by Paul Fischer. Paul Fischer had created for NASA for the Apollo 7 space mission in 1968. I have my numbers right. And what makes this pen so amazing, it writes upside down, of course, because you have to use it in outer space. It writes underwater. It writes on grease.
Because it's pressurized.
Yes,
the pressurized cartridge
pressure.
keeps putting that ink out there regardless of like gravity's effect on it.
Exactly. It writes even in temperatures negative 30 degrees to 250 degrees Fahrenheit. So it has some great uses. You could be using this outdoors. You're never going to have an issue. In the heat, in the cold, I know you got like firemen and policemen and all these different people who tend to use this pen because it's just a great everyday pen.
Yeah, so like, I mean, in certain circumstances where a fountain pen, let's say, for example, can't write upside down because it needs the capillary action to work with gravity, keep feeding the ink. You can't write underwater, of course, with a fountain pen either, or sometimes in extreme conditions, an ink could freeze, or if it's too hot, then you would have the issue with, like, if it was an eyedropper pen, it would just start blotting out ink into the page. And this was on the one of the episodes of Seinfeld.
It was.
I think it was called The Pen. The episode was called The Pen.
They made the whole episode on the pen. They had this pen on QVC where the two astronauts were in outer space and they were writing with the pen while they were live on QVC, which I thought was really cool.
That is pretty cool.
Reagan has used this pen for signing. So you got some famous presidents there. So you got an array of colors, and they actually make an array of styles. I happen to just pick they call them the Fischer 400 series, which is a bullet shaped, and they come in a variety of colors. You have green, Tahitian blue, which happened to be inspired by gold spot pens. You got the pink, you got red. You can check our website, goldspot.com, and you can find an amazing array of different Fischer space pens. I do want to add, the Fischer space pen does roll because it has no clip. However, you can buy clips, and they make them in 3 colors. You got the gold, the black, and the chrome, and you can mix and match. So if you want to take your gold clip and put it on a chrome pen or black clip on the pink pen, and they slide right off, and you just slide them right on, and you can switch. And they're really inexpensive, and this way they don't slide off the surface.
And you could clip them to your pocket too.
Yeah.
And pop them in right here.
Unlike the Jotter, it does have a cap, but it elongates it, and you get this nice length.
Right.
Which you do.
Kind of like the Kaweco Sport, where it's a small pocket pen.
And
then you could post it on the cap and on the back there, and it gets to be a normal length pen as opposed to like a little short stubby pen. But you could write with it as a little tiny pen too. So it's good for like throwing in your bag, throwing in your pocket, like just really easy to be able to
really nice
carry that around. And then plus the fact that it can operate under duress and certain extreme circumstances, you can bring it with you everywhere.
That is true. And it's an ultimate gift because you have this beautiful little box that it comes in.
The inside's like shaped like a moonscape. You know, it's got like the little divots and craters in there.
So that was very well thought of.
All right, so I have a Sailor fountain pen, and so you're telling me that they also make ballpoints too?
They do.
Oh, okay.
And they make a fantastic ballpoint. Sailor actually has its own proprietary refill, which writes like butter. I picked all my pens because of their smoothness. You should have no explosion of your refill bursting. You should be able to write on any type of surface, unlike a fountain pen. It's awesome for left-handed people. And with its twist action mechanism here, you are able to not have to worry about a cap, and you can just go.
I do have a 1911, and one of the things that I always appreciate about it is that people kind of mistake it as like a Mont Blanc looking pen.
It does. It looks
and
like
Mont Blanc pens, even like something like this, are going to cost you in the hundreds of dollars. But the Sailor, you know, it's a Japanese-made pen. Like you said, proprietary refill. They pride themselves in that writing experience. So that's why they wanted to go with a proprietary as opposed to like a Parker cartridge or something.
It is a little more costly than the other pens. However, it's worth every single penny. And that's why I chose it, because it's nicely balanced in the hand. It comes in 2 sizes. You have the 1911 large and you have the regular 1911. So it's a preference of your hand, your writing style.
Style-wise, it's like it screams like executive. Like, I know what I'm doing. I'm going to the boardroom. I'm signing checks that have like 6, 7 zeros. I'm a hot shot.
And if you have the packaging is bar none. It's actually sealed. It'll come in a completely sealed plastic, and it comes in this beautiful gift box. It's great for graduations, for birthdays, and you know that recipient is going to be using it more than a fountain pen. It's hard to say I don't like fountain pens because I happen to love fountain pens, but I do use a ballpoint pen every day. So
yeah, I mean, this could be like the gateway drug to say like, oh, okay, well, somebody could start writing with a Sailor ballpoint and like it so much, and they're like, I gotta write with the Sailor fountain pen. I heard those nibs were out of this world.
Our number 2 ballpoint pen for 2019 is the Retro 51 Tornado. Now, Retro 51 Tornado happens to come with the rollerball refill. However, you can easily change it, and I've actually already changed it. This is the rollerball refill that's in the pen, and I just simply took it out of the top part, and I put in, it's a Easy Flow 9000 ballpoint pen refill, which is also a Parker style refill.
Parker style.
So you can put in your favorite Parker Jotter refill, and it'll fit perfectly in this pen. So one of the really cool aspects about this pen is it comes in awesome, cool designs, styles, colors, you name it. This happens to be our limited edition retro that we did, and we've done quite a few in the past couple of years.
Well, that one's not limited.
This is not limited,
but
no.
these are.
But this is our last
Skylines
production.
Are.
So once these are sold out, these are sold out. This happens to be the coffee pen, which has this really cool burlap texture on it, and we mimic the burlap of a coffee bag that you get the coffee beans in.
Mm-hmm. And it's acid etched in there.
It is.
I mean, technically they call them rollerballs because they do come with that Ref 5P rollerball cartridge, but I also liken them to ballpoints because of the fact that they are retractable. They don't have a cap. So, and you can put a ballpoint pen refill in that Easy Flow, Ref 77 refill that they make. I love different colors. That's why I like using fountain pens, like to switch between different colors of ink. So this kind of resonates with me, being able to switch between Retro 51 ballpoint and like a nice peacock blue, or you have like the indigo blue, or the ice blue,
or purple.
And
purple matches you nicely.
I think blue does better, but then you have things that are exclusive collaborations, like the ones that we have with the Skyline edition that glow in the dark, and we have the Paris and the New York that are here, but we also have others that are on the way, and there's a lot of other exclusive collaborations with other retailers that they come up with these designs, and we work with them, and we come up with all these different crazy versions of tornadoes that you could pad in your collection and write with every day if you wanted to, which is a lot of fun because you could find something that's tailored exactly to your interest.
It's true. This happens to be their Albert, so they actually do packaging that reflects that. You have
the particular design, like the coffee comes in this kind of wrapper that's here.
And then you got Dr. Gray. It reflects exactly what's in the box, the pen. So they do some really cool designs. If you like something, grab it, because next time you look, it might be gone.
And that too is what you were saying about the jotters going up in value. Retros also do that too.
They do.
So when an edition, like let's say the Skyline or one of the other limited editions sell out.
I was going to tell you, how much was this?
I think it started at, we were selling them for like $39, and then people on eBay are now selling them for like $300 or $400. Cool. One of the other things that I just wanted to mention, because I'd done it in a previous video, is the fact that you can actually take apart the rollerball refill and then actually put fountain pen ink in the sponge, and then use fountain pen ink.
I don't watch all your videos, but I've seen that one, and that was cool. That was cool.
It's an easy way to use bottled ink in a rollerball pen, and then use a lot of ink too, because it to soak that sponge that goes inside the rollerball cartridge, it takes at least like, I would say 5 to 10 milliliters worth of ink. It's a lot of ink to soak that sponge.
It'll last a long time.
So yeah, so like you could actually go through your ink collection a little bit easier if you go that method and fill up your rollerballs with ink.
If you haven't seen that video, there'll be a link.
Yep.
And make sure you watch it. It's really cool.
Kiran, what is your top ballpoint pen of 2019?
So my top ballpoint pen for 2019 is the Crayon d'Ache 849. Why I chose this pen is the refill. This refill writes absolutely amazing, like all the pens I picked. However, when you actually look at this refill, you're going to see how big this thing is. Compared to a regular ballpoint refill, this holds so much more ink. In fact, you can write up to 600 pages, according to Kiran, on an A4 paper without the ink running out. What did they call the refill? Goliath.
Huge.
Huge.
They should have called it huge. If this was the United States, if instead of Swiss made, they would have called it the huge
Yes.
refill.
I was actually playing with this pen from the moment you start using it. No issues. You know how sometimes you're like scratching, trying to
It
get
could
that
get a
dark?
little blotty.
Nothing.
And yeah.
This pen just starts from the moment you start writing and it just glides on. There are refills available in different point sizes, so if you want a fine point, a medium, a bold, Kiran offers that. And it comes
Different colors too,
comes
right?
in all these awesome, crazy
That
colors.
is a lot of colors.
They actually did an espresso run.
Yes, we did take a look at that at our top 5 pens for June.
Yeah, so
Or, no,
the
sorry, for
the
May.
blue's almost done. We don't have that many left. So if you didn't get one, I would grab onto one because I'm pretty sure by the time this gets launched, it will be sold out. And every year they're going to be doing a different color. This happens, I can open this. This happens to be the one they did for last year. We grabbed whatever we could because there wasn't that many left, and once they're gone, they're gone.
And that's actually made out of the recycled aluminum from
the capsules.
espresso
I forgot
capsules.
to mention that. This year they're doing what they call the India green. Last year was the darkened blue.
It has a matte finish as opposed to these have more of like a lacquered or
Yeah, and they have metallic finishes. Did you see
polished
that?
sort of finish.
Look how nice
That's
that is.
the Metal X finishes, which are more reflective,
Yes.
metallic sorts of colors that are on there.
Look at that aqua color, isn't that?
That
isn't
is
that
really
pretty?
nice. You know, it's my favorite, and I know it's
that's
your
my
favorite,
favorite, too.
This is a stylus, though,
This
right?
is a stylus, so you can use it on your iPad, your iPhone. I'm an Apple girl, so it's all about Apple products, but
That's called the Genius, I believe.
this is.
It also comes in white as
And we
well.
have this really cool teal color, which is exclusive to Gold Spot. It's called Make Your Day Right exclusive.
It's like our phrase that we kind of throw around.
Yeah, we
It's like
actually have
our
the phrase.
tagline.
We actually have the phrase written on the pen. You're having a bad day, you look at it, make your day right.
It's time to make my day right.
It's
Take
true.
out my pen, write, get those worries and thoughts and all those bad things out there on paper, and go about your day.
You don't realize it, but it actually does have some effect on you. It doesn't click like the Jester, but it has that nice flowing click.
It doesn't make that really audible click. It's like kind of like a stealthy click.
Yes.
If you decide to start getting fidgety during a meeting, this is a little bit more softer
It's
and less
not
annoying.
irritating.
Yeah,
Yes.
than doing, let's say, the Jester click, which you hear, kind of going on and on. People would probably throw you out of the meeting and fire you right then and there.
So those are my top 5 ballpoint pens for 2019.
That is a good selection. I mean, if, let's say we were talking about fountain pens, I could probably come up with a lot of more higher price pointed items to talk about.
Let's be factual here. Most people use ballpoint pens.
I like ballpoints too, and I have one of the our exclusive here, and I have also the Retro 51s we were looking at, and I have them in my bag because you never know when, let's say, your fountain pen runs out of ink, or you can't write on a certain particular type of paper. Somebody gives you a whole bunch of forms to fill out. You can't write it in, purple or pink ink, so you kind of have to go with using something else, which a ballpoint or a rollerball would be more appropriate for said occasions. I really appreciate kind of going over all these different options, and you have things that are good for for younger people or for people going to school, but then you have something like the Sailor, which is a little bit more higher ended for a professional or somebody who's looking for a higher quality writing instrument.
True. You have the option, fountain, ballpoint, whatever suits your fancy.
Right. Whatever makes you want to write more and enjoy writing.
That's what it's about. Just write. Make your day right.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Kiran, I appreciate you coming on the show finally with me.
Thanks for having me.
We don't really get to see you that often, but we should do more videos. We have a Sailor 1911 in your choice of either the standard or the large size, what we would ask you to do is follow the link in the description in the episode notes below. And that'll bring you to our blog post that has the listing of the top 5 pens. And then at the bottom of the blog post, you'll see a form that you'll be able to fill out a different number of ways. So if you don't want to enter in using your email, you can use your Facebook account, you use your Twitter account, you use Instagram, whatever. So there's multiple different ways to get an entry to win. And then we will randomly pick somebody. You have until Friday the 14th to enter.
Good luck.
Good luck to everybody. And like I was saying to Kiran earlier, I appreciate you coming on the show and showing us your top 5 ballpoints.
Thanks
and
for having me.
You know, maybe I'll convince you to use some fountain pens a little bit more around the office too.
I use them.
Yeah, I know, and you tend to hoard the nicer special editions. So you got good taste. I'll give you that.
Maybe I'll tell you guys my everyday fountain pen next to my bed next time.
Yeah, definitely. And I appreciate you guys tuning in and taking a look at ballpoints and not throwing tomatoes at the screen because it's not fountain pen. So
we know you guys use ballpoints too.
We know you do.
We know.
Secretly. You don't want to admit it, but you secretly do. Appreciate you guys tuning in, and as always, stay inky, my friends. Take care.
Take care.